So I've been asked a lot of questions about food storage. So I decided to show you all how I store food for long term in a way that, the food stays for pretty much as long as you need. So it's with Mylar bags and buckets. I always get the food grade buckets. You don't have to get food grade buckets because the food is not touching the Mylar, but my thing is that, if later I have to use these buckets for anything else to hold food or to hold water or something like that, you want food grade buckets. So you get Mylar bags, food grade buckets, and at the end, we're going to do a heat seal. So I have a few different types of beans. I have rice. Right here, what you see is actually flour. Now, when you're dealing with flour, the best kind is white flour, unfortunately. The, regular whole wheat flour will stay for longer in this type of situation, which, all the air is taken out of it. But because of the oils and different things, it does not last as long as bleached flour. Here you see rice. Now, rice, for people who know, rice will last forever pretty much, especially if you have it in a situation like this. Put in a Mylar bag with oxygen absorbers, seal it. You could come back to that rice forever. Now, the flour, I've had someone use that flour after I stored it for 5 years, and they were extremely happy. Here are some beans, got some kidney beans. You can't not have kidney beans in New Orleans. So I have a few different types of beans, and those are the kidney beans. I think next I'll probably have some pinto beans. But, I store a lot of different things, kidney beans, pinto beans, there's the pinto beans. And beans, again, just like rice, beans will last pretty much forever, especially if you have them sealed with no oxygen, but even outside of that. Here's sugar. Now, sugar actually will last forever, and sugar does not have a problem with oxygen. So you don't need to put oxygen absorbers in sugar. As a matter of fact, what happens when you do put oxygen absorbers in sugar is it makes it hard. So here I have a damp cloth. I'm running it around the inside to take off any powder that may have, so it gets a good seal. So I'm just kind of going in right inside the bag where I'm going to seal it, and any powder, just wiping it off, letting that dry. So now here is the sealing process. So I just take anything hard. Sometimes I actually use a collie stick, but here I'm using a ruler. Put it under there. And what you do is you iron it closed. Now Mylar is, has plastic in it. So once you start ironing, that plastic melts and it creates a heat seal. But here I'm not going to seal it completely. I'm going to leave a little bit of space at the end. And you'll see why we leave that space a little bit later. So you seal it as much as you can, leave a little bit of space. And what happens is, once you seal it, get out as much air as you can. Then when you get the oxygen absorber, you put the oxygen absorber in that space, and which is what I'm doing now. And then you go ahead and you seal it completely. Now, what I've been doing after I seal it completely is going above the seal that I did, that I'm about to do now, and giving it a double seal. You probably don't need to do that, but that's just me, because if my plan is to make sure this food lasts forever, I'm gonna double check it. So I make sure that I double seal everything. So once I do that, once I seal it, once I double seal it, then I go through and put in instructions, and you're going to see that in a minute as well. You would be surprised at how many people don't know how to cook beans from scratch, don't understand that you need to soak beans. There's some people out here don't even know how to cook rice. Unfortunately, it's a real thing. So what I do is I put instructions on how to cook. I also put recipes into each bucket with things. So like with the flour, and you'll see coming up right now, I have everything that I need in there to make biscuits, to make bread, things like that. Then at the top, I put in when I